Hello and welcome back to the second video. This is Mike Sharpoletti with Strike Anywhere Power Skating, and on behalf of Sunbears Japan, it is the second episode. Today's focus is going to be on Mohawk. So as discussed in the first episode where we were looking at the figure 8, a Mohawk was the forward transition when we were coming out of backwards, but it has a lot of applications in the figure 8 drill. We were using it to come back to forwards as we were transitioning back and coming through, and we were making that big 8. Now, the Mohawk transition can be used in a lot of different ways, and typically you'll see a guy like Crosby use it to kind of juke his way through defenders, and then you can also see him use it to just turn back and face to a person that's behind him that he needs to get a pass from. Typically when we teach this, we actually just stand around on the ice and we just try to learn it on the spot. And as we get kids learning and getting past that learn to skate kind of mentality with the Mohawks, we would start to get them going down the ice, and they would just be going around the ice and just trying it both ways, facing this way, and just working on getting their hips open. And as you can see, they would just be working their way all the way around the ice, and we could have all our participants try it. But today's focus is going to be teaching this in a class setting when we're getting more into the beginner levels up to intermediate. So a lot of the accompanying video you're going to see today, you'll see a lot of my students. They range in a lot of different skill levels. A lot of them have been skating for years. Some of them are very, big adults, but they actually don't have much experience in playing. So whenever we're teaching these type of skills, we like to utilize all of the ice. When we're doing these around the dots, as I'm going to demonstrate here with the Mohawks, what we're trying to do is we're trying to learn how to execute this around a fixed point. Now, if we were to start out this corner here, we would always be crossing over, and we would be going around this dot here, and then this dot here. And we get to use all the ice because there is, of course, 8 dots all the way down across for all of the face-off dots on the ice. Great setup. No setup is the best setup, right? So we get to save time and utilize our ice a little bit better by not having to set up as much. And we're going to learn something very important about going around a fixed point. A lot of students that don't know this type of thing, they're going to assume that they go up to the point and they execute their Mohawk. And that's just not the case. A Mohawk is something that we're using to get around something. So typically, we actually like to get things started right here at the hash marks of the circle. So as you can see, that's quite a bit of a gap. We're almost 6-7 feet away from the thing we're going to be going around. So it teaches you to execute this with a little bit more of a thoughtfulness towards where you're going on the ice, and challenges the skater to think about what the obstacle actually represents and what they're actually striving to achieve here. They're learning how to get around checks on the ice. They're not just, playing around on the skates, getting themselves challenged to fall. Learning about what the application of the skating drill is obviously super important. And with this setup here, we can be doing all sorts of stuff around here. We use this type of setup to do tight turn practices. We do this for transitioning forward to backwards. We do this for all sorts of different skating skills, all the way from beginner to more advanced skaters. We can sometimes carry pucks. We can do pretty much anything you like with this sort of thing. Sometimes we do puck protections around it, and we'll situate coaches at the different dots to challenge a little bit of a stick check or sort of things like that. But all these progressions are very simple, and it's, like I said, no setup. That's the whole point of this type of stuff. I find a lot of coaches like to impress with the amount of setup and elaboration that requires, and the explanation and the complication and that sort of stuff. This is nothing that impresses your student. Your students are just trying to wrap their minds around the simple concept that you're trying to teach them. You don't need to challenge them too much with the form. This is straightforward. Keep it straightforward, keep it easy to understand. The more repetitions that your students get, the better that they're going to get at the skill that you're teaching. So repetition is key, and that's going to be something we're going to focus on again in future videos. But remember, this is all we're looking for here. Setup time is minimal. We're getting lots of repetitions in, and we can explain more in a game situation what the purpose of the skill we are teaching is. So again, on behalf of Sunbears Japan and Team Strike Anywhere, my name is Mike Sharpoletti. Happy to be doing this second episode of our Power Skating Drills and Skills series, and looking forward to hearing comments on this one as well. Great feedback from the first ones. Looking forward to hearing from you all, and looking very much forward to seeing you in the next video.